Hi, I'm Kurt Rosengren, and I would love to invite you to join me on something that I am completely on fire about. I call it an Aliveness Group, and essentially what it is a small group, 6-week exploration of how to feel more energized and alive, how to feel less stressed, and really how to step more fully into your groove. Personally, I think it's the best thing since sliced bread, but I also recognize that it's not for everybody. So I want to talk a little bit about who it is for, so you can see if you recognize yourself. So try these on for size and see if any of these resonate. A, you feel like it's just time to be able to step more fully into your groove so you can make a greater impact in your life. Or maybe you want to feel less stressed. You want to dial down the stress and you want to dial up the inner peace. Maybe you want to feel more energized in your life. Maybe you want to feel more fluid about navigating the challenges that life inevitably brings your way, and the big ones and the small ones. How do you get more fluid about that? So if any of those resonate, see if any of these feel like they hit the mark for you. You feel called to make more of a difference with your life, to make more of an impact with your life. Not necessarily with your career or even some grand project, maybe just by the way you live your everyday life. But there's this aspect of making a difference that's important to you. You want to feel more of a sense of meaning and purpose in your life. It's just time for life to have more of that sumptuous juiciness that comes from knowing there's this meaning and purpose there and living more of that. And finally, you want to connect with other people, other like-minded folks that share those values, that share that way of seeing things. If any of that resonates for you, you're in luck, because that's exactly what this group is all about. So the group is based on a framework that I've been working with that I call the Aliveness Code. The Aliveness Code has its roots in work that I have done since 2001, helping stressed out career changers figure out how do you make the here and now better. And ultimately, a couple of years ago, I took that work that I had been doing on the fly with people, really following the conversation where it needed to go, and said, what would a framework, what would an intentional way of looking at that look like? And out of that came this framework that I call the Aliveness Code. Now, code stands for constricted to open, drained to energized. It is two continuums that the framework is based on. Constricted is things like stress and fear and anxiety, all of these things that have a constricting effect. Open is the polar opposite of that. So where you see the bigger picture, it is where you are more readily open to connections. You feel more positive emotions. So that's that open space. Drained to energized, that's fairly self-evident. Some days you feel more drained, some days you feel more energized. How do you tip the needle towards more energized? So this is the basic framework that the entire thing is working on. I've been working for the last couple of years with individuals using this Aliveness Code on helping people dial down that stress in their life and step really more fully into what's possible for them, into a richer and more alive kind of life. And I have loved, it has been so inspiring to do. And I'm even more inspired at bringing it more into the group context. And the reason for that, one, I get to touch more people. I get to have more impact for more people all at once. That, of course, is exciting to me. But even more than that, it is the potential for learning and growth that comes when multiple people are sharing those insights and experiences, and other people are seeing that they're not alone. Other people are seeing how people are navigating things. Other people are seeing ideas they would never have thought of. It's just a very exciting, dynamic space. So that's one of the reasons that I'm completely over the moon on fire about this Aliveness group that I've got coming up. Okay, so what will that look like? What will we be doing in that 6-week program? So at the beginning, we'll take a look at the Aliveness Code. I'll be teaching you how to use the Aliveness Code just on an ongoing basis in your life. I'll be teaching you how to apply 7 key components to feeling less stressed, more energized, more alive, and ultimately to be able to make a greater impact in your life. From there, really what you'll be doing is working with what's going on in your life as a learning laboratory of sorts, so that you are not only saying, how do I improve my life here and now? You're certainly doing that, but you're also using that process to gain proficiency in this Aliveness Code framework and applying this Aliveness Code framework to your life, so that in the long term, you can continue moving towards that energized and open ends of the spectrum and moving away from the drained and constricted ends of the spectrum on an ongoing basis throughout your life. I will also be sharing along the way my own experiences, because I was really my first guinea pig in all of this and have gone deep into applying this into my own life. I wish I could say that you could put me on a pedestal with all of this. I cannot say that. I continue to have a very human experience day to day, and at the same time I can absolutely tell you that having these tools to apply and to consciously apply and to be able to step back and say, what's going on? How do I work with this? Has really been life-changing for me. So I'm really excited about being able to share that with you as well. Okay, so one last thing before I wrap up. I want to share a little bit about why I am so on fire about this. And it's not just the impact that I know that it can have on your life. Yes, that excites me. That I absolutely love watching that unfold. But it's really more than that, because it's not just about your life, but it's about the potential for your life to have an impact in the world, to have a positive impact in the world. It's something that I call changing the world from the inside out. And it's the idea that all the ways that you make the world a better place, all the ways you have a positive impact in the world, have one thing in common, and that is that they start with you. So if you really want to maximize your potential to make the world a better place, to leave the world better than you found it, it really just makes logical sense that you have to start with where that impact starts, and that is the inner landscape. That is the inner game of what's going on in your inner world. And so the work that I'm doing here isn't just about helping people feel happier, more alive, less stressed. It's really about empowering them to show up as fully as they possibly can and maximize the potential and the possibility of the impact they have the potential to make in the world. So that is it. I invite you to join me for this. I'm really excited about it. Drop me an email at the address on the page, and I love to hear from you. Take care.